What's going on, guys? We're back with another informative video. Today we got electric cars are not sustainable and they're terrible. I 100% agree with this, guys. I'm gonna let you guys make your own sort of, comments in the comment section down below what you guys think. I will never be driving an electric car, guys. Like literally the next 10 years, I believe 2030, the entire European Union, they want to have electric. And to me, it's insane, guys. They can switch your car off. Electric cars, they can't even go 200 kilometers without having to recharge. Terrible investment. One of the worst things that you can do is actually buy an electric car. I love Teslas personally, but at the same time, guys, I probably would get, a Mustang, for 30,000 over a car like a Tesla for 30,000. That's just me, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let's get it.
Cars suck. But I'm going to subvert your opinion and also say gas cars are even worse than electric cars. Now, I know you're confused now. You're wondering what my problem is then. Well, my problem is that they are still cars. When most Americans imagine the changes that we have to make to battle climate change, one of the first topics of conversation is always about electric cars or autonomous vehicles. It's easy to talk about a topic that you can relate to something that you do every day. And as we know, majority of Americans commute to work with automobiles every day. In the last few years, car manufacturers like Tesla, Volkswagen, GM, Ford, and other big manufacturers have been pushing electric cars as a green solution to many of our problems when it comes to tackling climate change. While I do believe that electrifying everything is a step in the right direction, I also believe that it simply will not be enough. Oftentimes in ads and promotional materials, electric cars are praised as solving the fossil fuel dependency, or bringing on an era of sustainability.
Yeah, they don't do that whatsoever.
Or something along those lines, but a lot of what these companies usually say is exactly what they want it to be. It's marketing, baby.
300 miles is just nothing, guys. I feel like especially if you're on a full charge, it just is nothing compared to what you have to actually drive,
We will simply innovate our way out of everything. Do not change your lifestyle in any way. Just buy our product and innovate. But let's actually talk about electric cars.
Well,
as I said in the beginning, electric cars are a step in the right direction. They are
I don't think they are, guys. I disagree.
Superior to gas cars in a few different metrics.
Okay.
But they really only start becoming more environmentally friendly around 3 to 5 years of ownership. And this is all dependent on their battery size. This is because electric cars have a lot more rare earth materials in their batteries. These materials take a lot of CO2 to mine and to process, so
you have to wait 5 years for it to become economical for the environment. I mean, this is just a joke.
Even if your electric vehicle doesn't produce any CO2 emissions while running, it produces quite a few tons in the first place while getting manufactured. If you'd like to see a more in-depth video on this topic with the math presented, I recommend you go watch Engineering Explains video on it. But okay, let's try thinking about something else. What if we use our Mega Mondo Galaxy brains here and just imagine that we didn't need cars in the first place? And here lies a fundamental problem. No matter what type of vehicle you use, it is simply not going to be sustainable. And I know what you're thinking now. You're probably thinking, oh, well, we gotta invest in future technologies like autonomous vehicles. That way no one individually owns a car. No, that is not what I mean. Because it's not just the vehicles that aren't sustainable, it's everything that cars use. Also, slight tangent off the script here.
Did you guys see how there's still the exact same room space taken up with a car, electric car, and an autonomous car? It's all the exact same, guys.
Sustainable, it's everything that cars use. Also, slight tangent off the script here. I don't give a fuck if you live in bumfuck nowhere. Like, if you're a farmer, of course you're going to need a car. I'm talking about like the 95% of Americans or whoever that lives in like the metro area of a city that like commutes everywhere in a car.
Right.
Of course, if you live off in the wilderness in the middle of nowhere, yeah, cars will probably always exist. But like most people live in metro areas of cities. Anyway.
That's kind of a good point, right?
Cars need infrastructure to work properly and to be efficient. This can cover the basics like neighborhood streets, parking, and commuting. And, of course, these things would exist even if cars weren't popular. Local streets always existed to get materials in and out of neighborhoods easy, and city squares have always existed to provide room for different urban activities.
That's very true.
It's when we start looking at car infrastructure do these things really get supersized and blown out of proportion immediately. Here's a great example of a city that still has a lot of parking lots in its downtown. This is Denver, Colorado, and every single one of those yellow spots is just parking for metal boxes. It serves no other purpose.
Whoa.
Each piece of
That's
yellow
a lot, to be fair.
land is wasted to do a singular thing, just park boxes. And I guarantee that most of the time those places don't even have cars parked in them.
Sure.
Instead, we should be building more amenities for people that live downtown. Buildings can be complex too. Not only can you have a store or school on the bottom floor, but you can also have living spaces or apartments on top of them. This is what's called mixed-use development, and it's more walkable and bikeable. You don't need a car if the city is built the correct way. Mixed use can be really dense, but it can also be cute and fit into small towns perfectly too. And if you want to know more about that, check out one of my videos on good suburbs here. Anyway, I'll talk more about this later. Again, let's talk about housing. Cars affect housing directly and indirectly, and electric cars are no different. They can affect housing directly through requiring driveways and parking lots, which, along with needing space for parking cars, also needs additional space for larger roads to handle more cars for those parking lots. Then, needing more space for those roads and parking forces a lot of services and buildings to be farther apart, continuing the vicious cycle of needing larger and larger roads and forcing everything farther apart with parking. This all compounds itself when people find that they can live farther and farther away from the center of towns and cities in some isolated suburban development away from it all. Now I know what you're probably thinking. This is fine though. People can live the way they want. Look at this car hater. He's such an urbanist dickhead. He doesn't understand that not everyone has access to transit and not everyone lives in a city. Here's where the rant comes. It doesn't matter where you live. These people are consistently in the largest group with the highest carbon footprint of anyone in the entire world. Also, it doesn't matter what
But wouldn't it need to be like where we're not... Look at this, the highest is aviation, guys. Like, shouldn't we like stop doing aviation all the time?
Country you live in. If you live in a car-dependent suburb, your carbon footprint is automatically higher. And that might not be your fault. You might have just bought a home in that place because it was one of the only affordable places near your job. But understand that you should be trying to change these places for the better if you do live in one. Let me remind you that we are all affected by climate change. This planet is your home, and it is my home, and I hope that you treat it as such. Also,
Yeah, okay, dude, we should stop aviation then, obviously.
car-centric infrastructure is extremely inefficient compared to a city.
Guys, we kind of get it, man. Living in the cities is worse, but I still think electric cars are terrible. So he's basically saying we shouldn't be having too many cars because it builds up the suburbs, and then the suburbs then in return give us more pollution, which kind of makes sense, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm pretty okay to agree with that, but if not, guys, then we need some sort of other sort of solution, because having cars for more than 5 years, maybe make electrical cars that last 10, 15, 20, 30 years, then that would be quite economical. I love you guys all. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.